Good morning, and welcome to our community affairs program that we call 30 Minutes. Today, our special guest is Miss Ellen Murphy. She is the new Superintendent of Schools for the Fulton County School System. Well, I have to start by saying congratulations.
Thank you, Charles. It's an honor and privilege to be the superintendent of Fulton County Schools.
I talked with you at graduation and asked if you were going to be interested in that position. We knew that former Superintendent Patrice Chambers had announced her plans to retire. At that time, you said that you were really undecided.
That's right. Very, very hard decision for me to leave the high school, even though it would just be going across the parking lot. Just the change, in the position was a difficult decision.
And you were the principal at the high school for how many years?
11 years.
For 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about all of that, but as we do each week with our program, we like to start by allowing our guests to introduce themselves. So I'm going to turn that over to you, Ellen.
Okay. I am a 1993 graduate of Fulton County High School. So I am a true pilot. I bleed blue and gold. I then went on to Murray State and graduated there, and I went to the University of Tennessee at Martin and obtained my master's degree in administration and rank 1 from there. Taught at Lake County High School for 5 years, and so Mr. Howard Todd hired me there as the biology teacher, and so have some years in Tennessee, but then decided to come home. So came home in 2005 to Fulton County High School to teach biology, and I've been there ever since. Wanted to make a difference in my home school and my community, so it was a great decision for me. Of course, I am married to Chuck, who is also a graduate of Fulton County High School. He's a 1989 graduate, and we have 2 children, Hayden and Hannah, and they are both graduates of Fulton County Schools. Hayden is a graduate of Murray State, and Hannah will be a freshman at Murray State in August.
Is she ready to go to school?
She is. She is very ready. She is a great young lady. I know she's mine, but she is ready. She's very mature for her age, and she's looking forward to new things.
We're going to miss her on the basketball floor.
Yes, we are.
For sure.
We are. She pretty much loved and was dedicated to anything that she was involved in and gave it 110%. So yes, we are going to miss her.
Is it true to say you've been in school all your life?
That is true. That is very true. Yes, I have, but it's been fun.
You talked about going to Murray State, then to UT Martin. So was a career in education your goal when you started that?
It was, and then you know how we all are. We change our minds. So I did change my mind. I actually graduated with a degree in biology and animal health, and so when I first graduated from college, I went to work at Tyson, and not a lot of people know that about me. But I was a supervisor at Tyson, thinking that I was going to get into the animal health field of the world, and started that. And I thought, oh, this is not for me. And so I had a former teacher, Miss Susan Taylor. She always told me that I needed to be a teacher, and I just didn't listen close enough to her. But Fulton County actually had a chemistry position open, and one night she said to me, "Ellen, you've had a lot of science classes. Why don't you see if teaching's for you and come back and fill in for a year and teach chemistry for us?" So that is actually how I started teaching. Mr. Moss was the principal, and he was a former teacher of mine as well. And so he hired me to teach chemistry and earth science for that year. That was in 1999. And so I did that for a year. But then after that year was over, I knew I was meant to be a teacher.
Yeah. I didn't remember you being a classroom teacher. I have always, I guess, known you to be in some type of admin position.
Yeah. Did
you teach in class at Lake County?
I did. I taught biology. I love biology. And that love of that field was instilled in me from Miss Glenda Thomason. She was my former biology teacher at Fulton County, and also my mentor when I graduated. When I first started teaching, she gave me everything that she used in her classroom. She gave it to me. So yes, love being a teacher, love working with new teachers. And I right now, this past year as being principal, love going into Laura Miller's classroom to see what she was teaching with biology.
And you mentioned Mr. Howard Todd. What a wonderful guy you got to meet there.
Oh, yes. Mr. Todd's one of the best. He and his wife both welcomed me into Lake County, and had his son was in the high school, Wes, whenever I was there. My first year was a great place to be.
So you've been in the Fulton County school system for how many years now?
Well, this is my 25th year. Well, no, I'll be starting my 26th year in education. So 21 years at Fulton County.
So for your time in the school system, how many years total did you have in the classroom?
Five at Lake County. So probably about 9 in the classroom. Yes.
So tell us about your transition from the classroom into the administrative roles.
Well, I got a little taste of admin my last year as teacher. My principal then knew that I'd had the degree, and so he allowed me to be dean of students. And so dean of students, I handled some of the discipline. I had an extra planning time where I got to handle some of the discipline, and so that was a benefit for me. And then the following year, I went in as assistant principal / school counselor. And so that prepared me to move into the principal role, because I was given a taste and given some more responsibilities as assistant principal and school counselor. So I learned all about dealing with discipline and doing some of the different reports an assistant principal has to do. But I also learned the role of school counselor, where I helped students get into college, sign up for the ACT, grades and transcripts and filling out the FAFSA. So I did all that that year as well.
So I guess you saw pretty quick that you were liking this part of the business.
Yes. I really love the part of helping students get into college, figure out what they want to do, whether it be the workforce or college or community school. And I still love that part of it to this day, helping them with their future plans.
So you weren't pigeonholed into being in one classroom all day talking about the same subject. You had many different roles and I guess many different topics to talk about.
Yes, lots of things to do, very, very busy all day long.
Yeah, I can understand that. Are you now still the athletic director at the high school?
I am right now. I am still AD, but that'll probably come to an end pretty soon.
Right. With your transition to the superintendent's office.
Yes.
Wow. So for those who are listening today, tell us about the Fulton County school system.
Well, I say it, and I probably said it on here before, that we're the best kept secret in Western Kentucky. We are small, but we are, I feel like, one of the best places to send your kids. I think the small atmosphere we provide allows us to get to know your student, build that relationship with them, and provide them with what they best need in the classroom. So we have a great staff and we have great students. And I just believe that we are the best kept secret.
And many successful students have come from the Fulton County school system who have gone on to do very well in life.
Yes. We have graduated doctors, lawyers, teachers, nurses. You, Choate, you graduated from Fulton County as well, and you're successful and do a lot of good things for Obion County and Fulton County to help. So, yes.
Our state senator now, Jason Howell, is a Fulton County High School graduate. The late Jeff Green was also a state senator. And I guess it's true with any school. If you take advantage of the opportunity that is given, you can be successful.
Yes. I wanted to talk a little bit about that today. All the opportunities, even though we're small, we have many, many opportunities for our students. They have to, I say to them all the time, you've got to jump on it. You've got to jump out there and take initiative and go after it. We have lots of opportunities in there for all students.
And you've been recognized quite often by the state for your test scores and other student achievements.
We are the high school. We've been a blue school, and that's the top that you can be. We've been a green school, and that's just right under blue. But again, we're small enough. We can provide what students need to be the best and for them to be the best. It's a great place to be.
Another little tidbit I'll give you here, and I know you know this, Fulton County Schools, the building where it's at now, started in 1958. And I know that because my mother was the first valedictorian of the Fulton County school system. Okay. Did you know that?
I did not know that your mother was the first valedictorian, but the picture is hanging in the lobby of the first class. So that is an honor.
That was a consolidation of Hickman High School, Western High School, and Casey High School there. And she went to Western, and they closed, moved up to Hickman, and then they closed while she was there, and she moved out there. She was the first valedictorian. Okay. Sure was. That's
My
awesome. Sister was valedictorian of Fulton County School.
Okay.
And you go to church with them. You're there with them every Sunday. You did not know that.
I did not. No, I know how talented your sister is with her artwork, but I did not know that she was valedictorian. That's good to know.
Sure was. In talking about the school system, Ellen, you may have already answered this, but what is your anticipated enrollment for this year?
We should have right now, it's looking like about 650, and that's preschool through 12th grade.
That's a really good enrollment for you, isn't it?
It is. We're actually maintaining. We're not losing students. We're maintaining.
And your campus has the elementary and middle school building and the high school building.
Yes, we're all on the same campus, so it's a board office, and then right next door is middle school, elementary, high school, and then the Four Rivers Career Academy. It's nice to be all on the same campus.
Again, this morning, we are speaking with Miss Ellen Murphy. She is the new superintendent of the Fulton County school system. It's always a pleasure to talk with Ellen. She was on the program, I guess it was about a couple of years ago. And you just mentioned the Four Rivers Academy. This is on your campus with your schools, but it's not actually a part of the school system. Is that correct?
Right. It is run by the state, but it is housed on our campus, and so many opportunities for students at the Four Rivers Career Academy. Mr. Brett Johnson is the principal there, and he is a graduate of Fulton County schools. He lives in Lake County and taught, coached, principal, done all those things in the Lake County school system. He retired and then came back home to Fulton County. And so there, students have the opportunity to take health science classes, business and marketing, welding, automotive, and we have an industrial maintenance program. So pretty much anything that students, if they have an interest in any of those fields, you can go there and take classes. Just about every one of the students at Fulton County High School go over and take something at the Four Rivers Career Academy. Those students there earn certifications, and so those certifications make students more employable. If they want to become a welder, then you can earn your welding certification, where you're going to leave high school, go right into the workforce, and make more money. The same thing with health science. The M&A program, the Allied Health program, allows them to earn those nursing certifications, and they can leave and go into a better paying job and have those certifications on their resumes. The Four Rivers Career Academy is also open to Fulton Independent students and Hickman County students. So 3 schools have the opportunity to send their students there. Again, that's another reason why we're the best kept secret in Western Kentucky, because we have that right on our campus. More opportunities for our students.
Absolutely. Very, very fortunate to have that training facility on the campus. You've had some very successful welding students come from there, and not every student is going to college. Many are going to work.
And that's right. And that's one of our goals for Fulton County Schools, is for students to be college or career ready. We want them to choose the path in which they want to do for the rest of their life. Some students are both college and career ready when they graduate, and some are one or the other. And so we do not push every kid to go to a 4-year college, because some people do want to go strictly into the workforce, and there's nothing wrong with that, because we need that this day and time. We need those electricians and those welders
who have the opportunity to make a good living.
Yes, they do. They do.
And you mentioned earlier about the benefit of being a smaller school system. We had about 40 graduating seniors this past year.
Yes, correct. 40.
Yeah.
And right now, this class, I think there's 46 that we're looking at graduating. So anywhere from 40 to 50 is usually where we're running in the senior class.
Don't you just feel that the smaller ratio of teachers to students is so much more of a benefit?
Well, it is. And, students this day and time, they need that relationship with that teacher. And that also helps build that relationship. The smaller class size, they're more comfortable asking questions, getting that extra help, and learning what they need to learn. So that's another reason why I say we're the best kept secret in Western Kentucky. My teachers on Fulton County Schools, we know our students know us, we know our families, the families know us. And so that builds those relationships to keep kids in school, to get your families involved. And that's important for us.
And I don't think it's any secret that you really enjoyed being the principal at the high school.
I did. And it's going to be very hard. It is hard for me to move into the superintendent position. And I'm going to miss being at the high school every day. I've got a really great staff, really great students in the high school, and I'm just going to miss being with them every day. Change is hard. But I do believe that Jesus has me changing. He calls us not to be in our comfort zone. And so it's bringing me out of comfort just a little bit to move to superintendent. But I think it's his plan.
That's great. And you said you enjoyed being at the school every day. I can attest, as someone who goes to football games and many basketball games, that Miss Murphy was not just one who enjoyed being at school during the day, but all night too. It definitely was not a 40-hour-a-week job.
No. I tell people that Fulton County High School is my second home, so I want it to look nice. I want us to take pride in our buildings. I want it to look like my home where I live. I want it to be good. And I have a really great custodian, Squiz Robertson, who feels the same way. He's taken care and made the school very nice and clean. So yes, I live there, and I may not live there as much as superintendent, but I still will be involved and still be around the students and be with the teachers and the staff, because that's just my heart.
Well, I think the students look forward to seeing you. I know you had to get on them every once in a while, but they knew you were there.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of my strengths. They knew me as a classroom teacher, some of them, and then when I transitioned to assistant principal and principal, they still knew that, I meant business, but I wanted them to be successful because I cared about them and I care about our community and I want them to leave and be better, So.
You've been there to see the students walk across the stage to get their diplomas all of these years. You've been there for many students who've moved on to college with athletic scholarships, many of those during your term. And as a matter of fact, you told me once that my son was the first athletic scholarship signing that you had when you took over as principal.
Yes, right, for golf.
Golf,
Ryan was your son, Charles, a very, very good boy, still is to this day. And I think he was my first.
Yeah, it's been a good run for you. And I've heard this comment more than once before, that a career in education and in the medical field is not really work, but a calling. Have you heard that before?
I have. You have to be called to do it. It's not easy.
Not for everyone. Either.
No, it's not for everyone. People look at it and say, "Oh, y'all get this. You get the summers off." We don't really get the summers off. We do get us some downtime, but it is a calling. You have to be called to do it. You have to go in because people talk about the pay. And, of course, educators are not the highest paid, but that's not what it's about. It's about changing lives, making a difference in students. It's about changing your community, helping to make your community better. And so that it is a calling for sure.
All right, let's talk about your decision to be the new superintendent. Over the last few years, we've had Harold Garrison, Charlie Terrett, Patrice Chambers, and now yourself, who are all from Hickman. There haven't been many locals to hold the position in recent years. I know you have to be excited about it, and you come into the position in a really good way by knowing the school system and the community.
I am excited. I've been a little bit in shock because I'm thinking, it's just such an honor. It's such an honor to have graduated, walked the halls. And then I'm going to lead the district now, and I'm humbled, and I'm just proud. I'm proud to be a pilot, and it's going to be hard days, but I have a good friend, Miss Diane Owen. She's a former superintendent, and she is going to mentor me and guide me. And she said, you've done the hardest. She tells me all the time, you've done the hardest job in the district. She said, high school principal is the hardest job. She said, you're going to love being a superintendent. So
you're into the dollars and cents part of it now. I guess with budgeting, you'll have to deal with the decisions by the state legislature and new laws. And you said that in this short period of time that you've already learned some things that you didn't really know was part of the job. Is that not correct?
That's right. High school principal, your budget's very small. And so now going to a much larger budget, learning about that, and just learning, the ins and outs of everything that goes on at the board office. And so, there's going to be lots of things to learn, but I'll get it. And, you brought up legislators. I'd already told myself, Charles, I'm moving on to that too. I'm going to get involved with the state because I feel like they need to hear our voice more. They need to hear it from people who are in the trenches. I've been a teacher, been a principal, and now moving to superintendent. I have a lot of good ideas of where education needs to go in the state of Kentucky. And so I am going to get involved in that as well. And I want them to hear about Fulton County schools and all the schools in the Four Rivers counties. Sometimes I feel like we are forgotten because we are the furthest in the state. And we have a lot of great schools in our area that their stories need to be told. So,
and as I have learned from attending school board meetings, the cost of education is not cheap. Costs continue to increase for running the school system.
It does. And, I've never seen what the electricity costs for Fulton County schools until this past week when I was looking at the budgets. As high school principal, I never had to worry about that. That's something at the board office. So, yes, it is more expensive, and food cost,
buses,
travel, diesel, all those things that you have to think about now.
And you had to hit the ground running because you had several positions that needed to be filled.
Yes, we have. Of course, had to find someone to take my place. And so we've hired an interim high school principal. She comes to us with 33 years of experience from Lake County Schools. Ms. Gamble Snyder is going to be the interim high school principal. She actually started on Friday. Friday was my first day, August 1st, and it was hers as well. And so we have hit the ground running. She's been to the high school this weekend and moved in, and so she's going to do a great job for us, and I'm excited about bringing her on board. We've also we still have a transportation director position open. We had some teaching positions open. I think all those are filled now, and then we also are going to have another position that we've got to fill in the coming days with my finance director.
So you're going to start the school this week. Are you ready?
We are. Teachers come tomorrow. We start August 5th, and we are ready. I'm going to leave here and go to a meeting so we can finalize some things, but we are ready. Our theme this year is Be the Difference, Cultivating Excellence, Every Student, Every Day. And so we're going to use the B theme, BEE, be future focused, be encouraging, be on time. And so that's going to be our theme for this school year.
I know you're very excited about the opportunity. Do you see this as a long-term job?
Oh, yes. I know I'm going to do at least 7, hopefully. You know how that works. But 7 at least, and maybe 10 or longer. I'm still young. Yeah. My husband says we're always going to work. And that's his philosophy. So, yeah, I still have a lot left to do and want to help contribute to my community.
And you see good things coming from this also.
I do. I'll say it again. We've got a really, really great staff. I've got a really good admin team that have been around for several years. I have 2 retired superintendents that are willing to help. Miss Kim Dublin, she's a retired superintendent from Graves County Schools. She helps us. And then, of course, I mentioned Miss Diane Owen earlier. And then I've got some other 2 great principals that I've not mentioned, but Ashton Giles and Tia Davis on my team. And so just a really good admin team that are there for students, and then a really great staff that have the same calling that we're there for students.
Well, Ellen, congratulations again, and we know that your dedication to the school system and students will continue with your work at the school board office.
Thank you, Charles, and thank you for having me today. And just as we close today, I just want to remind, if you don't know about Fulton County Schools, please come visit us. Please, we will give you a tour of our campus. We would love to have your student. And again, I will tell you, we are the best kept secret in Western Kentucky. Come be a part of the Pilot family.
Miss Ellen Murphy, Superintendent of the Fulton County School System, we thank you for stopping by today.
Thank you so much.
And that concludes this week's 30 Minutes program. We hope you enjoyed today's show, and of course we invite you to tune in again next week at this same time as we bring you topics and information of importance to our community. From all of us here at Thunderbolt Broadcasting, until we meet again next week, I'm Charles Choate.
You've been listening to 30 Minutes, a community affairs program on Thunderbolt Radio. You can listen to this broadcast and others anytime by visiting thunderboltradio.com and following the Thunderbolt Radio and Digital YouTube page. Thanks for listening.